Hello and welcome to yet another how-to video from Bathroom Machineries. Today we're working on a Crane Criterion sink that has an issue. The owner noticed that there was leakage coming from underneath the sink. What's happened underneath there is there are some washers that have gone bad and they need to be replaced. However, Crane Criterions are a fairly complicated sink and it's a long procedure in order to get to those washers to replace them. Step number one is you have to take all of the trim off of the top of the sink. This is the handle and the trim rings. They come apart fairly easily. Oftentimes you can just get the cap off with fingernails, and if that doesn't work, a small slot screwdriver. Then take the handle off. If any of the plastic breaks while you're doing this, these can be replaced and we do carry them. Next, you want to take the trim ring off. A strap wrench, available at many hardware stores, is a tool of choice. This one came right off because we've already prepped the sink for this video. Same on the other side, you want to take the handle off. This one's already halfway off, so it just comes off. Trim ring, again, removes. You don't really want to mess with the spout quite yet. We'll get into that in a moment. Go ahead and we're going to pause it for right now while we flip the sink over. Okay, as you can see, we've got the sink flipped over. And this is not exactly what you would normally expect to see underneath your average everyday sink. Crane Criterions have a very unique way of getting water to the spout. The spout is actually connected up inside this little chamber, and most people and plumbers, when they see this, tend to panic and say replace the sink. First thing you have to do is loosen up the slip joint nut. Dave, why don't you come in here a little closer and we'll take a look at this. Right here. This has to be loosened up completely. Sorry for the loud ticking sounds. Okay. Once the nut is free, if there's any washer material, which this one does not have any sticking out, you want to dig any washer material out of here. The next step, believe it or not, is actually unthreading this nipple out of a T that's buried deeply up inside this sink. Where'd my wrench go? Where did my wrench go? Okay, now that we've found the wrench, you actually have to unthread the nipple out of the T up inside. It is a normal thread, so get in there with that pliers and give it a good tug. We've broken this one loose already, so it's going to come out fairly quickly. Under normal applications, this may take 3 to 5 minutes of very slow turning. Okay, once we have the nipple free, the entire assembly will pull out. This washer is the leaking problem and it need to be replaced with our 15 SB kit. At this point in time, you can also take your valve body out and inspect it for any damage or frozen up lock nuts. Pause. Okay, next up is removal of the Crane spout. This will work with both the Criterion spouts and the Temple spouts. First off, most likely you're going to need our 15-995 Securo waste removal tool. In order to get either one of these off, first off you have to get the cap off. And again, the strap wrench is your friend. This one decided to come off easily, but in case yours does not and you require a wrench with some teeth on it, we do sell replacement caps. You might wonder why we're doing this. It's not unusual for the washer or the drain underneath the sink or the putty up underneath here to fail after 50 years. However, there's a fork attached to this that goes clear all the way down to the drain. If you try to remove the drain nut underneath the sink before you remove this fork, and you turn the drain while trying to do the removal, you'll break the fork inside. These aren't made anymore, so we need to protect them. In order to get the fork out, you have to take the spout off. So, next thing is, lift up on this lever here, it'll slide right off. Next, we have to take the top of the fork off. We're getting really lucky with this one and everything's pretty loose. This part I actually haven't touched, so we're just lucking out. You're going to turn this many revolutions, just like the government of Italy. And eventually, it will come out. There we go. Next. Using that 15995 tool, here's our early prototype. Insert the tool down inside there. The ones we currently sell are made of steel. This is an early one that we designed originally. It's made of brass. And give it a good turn. The spout will lift right off. We'll show you how to reattach this in another video. Reaching down inside, you can see the fork, and it'll just kind of fish out of the hole. And sometimes they tend to hang up here. And this one's being stubborn, so we're going to leave it right where it is. Every now and then, they will stay. We don't want to risk breaking the sink while trying to get a fork out. Now, you can flip it up and remove the back nut. Okay. Removal is just thus. Again, we seem to be lucking out an awful lot today. Oh no, it's hanging. Oftentimes, you have to wedge a screwdriver in the drain while doing this. And it might help if I actually turn it the right direction. There we go. Okay, we're going to have to pause it real quick. This one's going to take some time. Okay, we're back. Dave the cameraman has given me a hand with this one. And we've got it broken loose. Oftentimes this will be a two-person job. You're going to have someone standing on top, holding that screwdriver, holding the drain steady, while someone's underneath the sink, turning this little guy off of here. Oh, you bugger. Resist the idea of cutting it off, if at all possible. The drains for these things run in the neighborhood of about $300, and it's usually best to try and save them if you can do that, if it's all possible. Let's see if it's going to turn off on us. Okay. Once you have this drain unthreaded all the way, again, this washer here is our 62 OCDW. They're fairly easy to replace, but this is a specific washer for these drains, so be sure to get it from us. Last but not least, the drain comes out, and you're all done. Thanks for watching this how-to video from Bathroom Machineries.